This is Stephanie Pruitt. It is day 13 of 30 by 30 by 30, where I'm writing 30 poems in 30 days in relation to the 30 Americans exhibit at the Frisch Center for the Visual Arts. For day 13, I drafted a poem in relation to Xaviera Simmons.
Wait, I checked myself. It's Xaviera.
One day and back then, seated. Simmons was born in New York in 1974. She currently lives and works out of Brooklyn. And one day and back then, seated, is a chromera chromogenic print. It's a photograph, a self-portrait in some ways, with Simmons seated in a field, looks like a field of wheat. And she is painted completely black with very red lips, wearing a trench coat, and sitting on one of the Huey Newton style kind of throne seats in this field. It's a very dramatic rendering. Let me read the draft of the poem and I'll talk to you about today in the process. Field of Dreams. I dream me black, in a field yea high, uncleared, self-colored for no stage other than the wide eye of my lens, trenched but not hidden. Let me make this more clear. I am standing at the intersection of back then and tomorrow, here, in blackface, and I know what that means. My blickety blackness will sure as sugar rub off on you. Gaze long enough, and maybe you'll see. Again, that draft called Field of Dreams is in relation to Xaviera Simmons, One Day and Back Then, Seated. Field of Dreams, I'm sure you remember the Kevin Costner movie and the phrase, if you build it, they will come. Part of what I was thinking about is how we talk about and think about identity, and we create all of these experiences and we feel like if people just engage with them, they'll get it. You know, if you build it, they will come. There's something very empowering about what Simmons is doing, taking on painting herself in kind of an act of self-definition, but also kind of an act of defiance in terms of making people, look at her front on in this way and think about what color is, what it means, what it does. There's also this, there's an idea, I guess you would say, in writing of an unreliable narrator. A lot of times when you take creative writing courses or you read, novels or poems, you ask yourself, is the narrator, is this constructed voice reliable? That's one thing I think about in Simmons' work and in this poem. Not reliable as in consistent, but is this a voice, more so in the poem I should say than Simmons' work, is this a voice that's fully self-aware? I think Simmons absolutely is. I think the poem questions the idea of being able to dream yourself something, within the context of a larger social setting. I don't know, I'm thinking about all of that. But a bigger thing that I'm thinking about and really excited about, today was a community teen night at the Frisch Center. So it's actually like 8:30 or 9 o'clock at night. And I just finished, I finished my personal writing, but I also facilitated a community group writing exercise with people of all ages. But it was in relation to the 30 Americans exhibit where I put together a quilted poem. I had everyone sit on the steps and we were actually facing a quote by Kara Walker. And the quote was a question, what am I beyond this skin I'm in? So I posed that question to all of the participants. We had, about 25 people, maybe 25 or 30 people who participated. They filled in the blank. Beyond this skin I'm in, I am. And let me show you one of the drafts that we put together. And this makes me think of Simmons' work because she's obviously talking about skin and coloration, and she pushes us to consider what that means. So the people who wrote today, they responded to the question with words and phrases, read them all out loud as we were sitting on the steps, and as they were reading in real time, I wrote down a few phrases or words or lines from what they were saying and moved around, kind of placing their words in this grid that I created. And then when I read it out loud all together, they were able to kind of pick apart and hear their portion of this new kind of communal piece, call it a quilted poem. So I'll read it to you, and I think it's interesting in relation to the draft that I wrote. Beyond this skin I'm in, I am. Actually, let me move this way, I can see it better. All right. Beyond this skin I'm in, I am. Beyond. Beyond longing, a spirit small. Beyond searching for remnants of lines. Beyond flying, woman, child. Beyond this skin I'm in, I am. This skin I'm in, every race, worldly wars, vulnerable, completely free. This skin I'm in, relevant. Didn't write much down, I'm without a radius. This skin, free. Beyond this skin I'm in, I am virtuous, a star, seed, daughter, growing. I am follower of God. I am power, awesomely blessed. Beyond this skin I'm in, I am human being. So kind of quilting all the lines together, you do get this cohesive sense. But the other thing that I'm thinking a lot about, this is where kind of the word nerd in me comes out. Grammatically, beyond is really important. So when you have a preposition is basically defining a relationship between words. So a prepositional phrase, preposition, preposition, what is the position? So beyond means like going over, or going over. So imagine if you're not thinking about being beyond skin, but within skin, without skin, over skin, in front of, or all of the possible relationships that we have to skin. So I was just thinking about what prepositions do and what happens when we think about getting beyond our skin. Is that a transformational, progressive thing? Is it actually regressive? Do we want to be beyond skin? Are we beyond skin? I mean, for a lot of people, this brings up the post-racial America idea, being beyond race. I don't think that we really are, but it's the prepositions that do this. It's the prepositions that define kind of the relationships between words and ideas. So, I don't know, I'm very interested in how all of these come together. I do them very quickly. It's as a person reads out loud. And so it's something of a written freestyle poem, I guess you could say, but it's exciting to have 20 or 25 people kind of find their place within this narrative and then think about what it means to kind of come together in that group way. I don't know, and it's also interesting to think about women's work, and it's a solo, a single figure in this photograph, but the single figure reflects a whole wide range of people within a community and their relationship to skin. So, all the ideas swirling around, I really like that. Oh my goodness, the ceiling is gorgeous. You probably can't see it, but anyway, it is. Just trust me when I say it's gorgeous. I like finding little things that I haven't noticed. I mean, I've been coming here every day for almost 2 weeks, and really for 10 years. Over the last 10 years, I've been coming here for exhibits, and it's nice to be in a familiar place where I still find new things. All right, I'm gonna sign off. You see the number 8. It's day 13, but it's the 8th of the month, so tomorrow you'll see the number 9 on the sticker. Thanks for hanging out with me.